How's it going, guys? I'm Kaya. Before the video starts, I want to say when this channel hits 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to watch Uncle Aaron's Beats for 10 hours, or actually, I should listen to Uncle Aaron's Beats for 10 hours on a live stream. So if you want to watch me get tortured for 10 hours straight, go ahead and subscribe. But anyway, into the video. Hey, so real quick warning for anyone watching this video, it gets like actually gross. So if any of you are like young children, or maybe you have young children around, make them leave or like to watch this with headphones or just watch it some other time, because it gets like actually really gross. So yeah, if there are any uncorrupted minds, leave right now.
Sex is defined by one thing and one thing only: you.
Not at all. No. Would be holding my car keys? Oh, this is sex. No. Using your rule of how to define sex, someone could go out, find a random chick, and decide that raping counts as sex, all because it's defined by me, right? I get to say what is and what is not sex. Well, that leads to a lot of issues. Please use your brain. It's really getting annoying. All the selfishness, all the self-worship, friggin' Aleister Crowley. Please make sense.
Maybe that's being fingered for the first time.
Oh,
Maybe
dear
it's having
gosh.
anal sex. Maybe
You
it's having
freaking
your
dweeb.
first orgasm.
Okay,
Consent to sex. Your own terms.
Wait, what? None of these count, especially not this one or this one. You're a freaking dweeb if you do either of those. I don't care. I'm saying it. You're a loser. This is the only thing that counts on the very bottom.
That's the beauty of your sexual journey. You're in
What?
charge, and you can figure it out.
Now they're treating it like a journey, like a... You know what? The more I listen to stuff like this from like the libs and stuff, not only the libs, but like dweebs in general, it sounds more and more like mysticism. When, if you don't know what that is, it's basically the idea that you are God, or that you are supposed to be some sort of God, which is mega cringe. I think the atheist in them would agree with me on that. It's all like self-worship and like it's all about you, it's all about you. And that's like Satan's number one tactic, is to get you thinking about only yourself and not those around you.
On your own terms. Choosing to have sex, when, what kind, where, who with, is something that only you get to define.
No. What about rape? What about something like that? Because according to what you just said, anyone can define it as anything they want. So if someone decided, hey, I'm going to define rape as sex, well, guess what? The person being raped will say, hey, well, this does not count as sex. And the guy who said it was like, absolutely it does, because Planned Parenthood told me that I get to define it, so now you have to accept it. Anyway, it's super cringe. I'm pretty sure these people just said, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, and then we're like, oh yeah, let's go. Freaking Satanist weebs. What is this stuff in the background here? Why do you have all of these things? So I was scrolling through Instagram, and I came across a pretty cringe video from Planned Parenthood saying that basically virginity is a made-up term. Planned Parenthood, which is already a cringe company for basically absolving men and women of the responsibility that comes with having sex, which is a child. They're being cringe once again with this video, where basically they say virginity is made up. So, yeah, let's watch it. Let's see what they have to say. Here we go. Oh, here it is.
Virginity. What is it? And what's the big deal about losing it? Let me cut to the chase.
Uh-oh.
Virginity is a completely made-up concept.
What are you talking
It's
about?
a term that was created simply to control and shame people, mainly women.
What are you talking about? How is it a made-up term? Technically, everything is a made-up term. For example, bicycle is a made-up term, but the term is tied to a meaning. So, like, bicycle is tied to the meaning of, like, it's a machine with a metal frame and gears and two wheels and all that stuff. You know what a bicycle is. Just the same way that virginity is a word tied to a meaning, meaning someone who has not done the deed yet. And I'm really interested in this when they say it's meant to oppress women, or like shame them, I guess. So let's see How?
That was created simply to control and shame people, mainly women. A virgin is someone who's never had sex, but it's not as simple
It's what
as
it is.
seems.
It is.
For one thing, medically, virginity isn't a real thing. In
Pasta isn't medically a real thing, but it's still an actual thing. Like,
some cultures, people place a lot of importance on the hymen, a thin, fleshy.
what is this? What is this stuff in the background here? Why do you have all of these things?
Tissue located at the opening of your vagina
Oh,
as a
no.
marker of virginity. But the status of your hymen doesn't actually mean anything. That's
What are you talking
because
about? The term virginity means you have not done the deed. Losing it is you have done the deed. It's as simple as that.
someone's had sex by the way their hymen looks or feels. Another reason
No, it doesn't. It's not like how it looks or feels or anything.
the idea of virginity is complete nonsense.
No, it's
is
not.
that sex means different
You're spewing nonsense right now, bro.
things to different people.
No, it doesn't. No. It means two things. One, either if you're a boy or girl, also known as gender, but they hate when you tie those things together because they're like, sex and gender are different. And I'm like, okay, prove it. And they're like, well, they are. And I'm like, well, you can't just come to a conclusion and not tell me how. Anyway, or it means, doing the deed.
Generally speaking, society tends to define sex in a very narrow way. Penetration, penis into vagina. But where does that definition leave queer people? Or folks who can't or don't have
It doesn't
penis
count.
and vagina sex? And choose to have oral, anal, or another type of sex instead. And not everyone's first sexual experience is consensual, meaning that they were forced.
And why is she like in a classroom setting too, when she's clearly talking to grown adults, unless this was aimed at young children, in which case we have another problem. So I'm going to go back because I forgot what she was saying.
And not everyone's first sexual experience is consensual, meaning that they were forced or pressured into having sex.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact. Obviously, that's a horrible thing. But even if you were pressured, that means that you have now lost your V card. Even if it was in a horrible way. Okay, by the way, I'm not condoning it in any sort of way because I know someone's going to try to take something I said out of context and be like, oh, it's terrible. No. It's horrible. It's disgusting when it's unconsensual. But that doesn't change the fact of what happened.
There's also a double standard on who carries the burden of virginity. Society puts
What are you
pressure
talking
on
about?
men for not having sex at the exact same time they shame women for having it. Make it make sense. Either way,
That's actually valid. I will agree with them on that. Anybody having it before they're married is cringe.
shame has no place in someone's personal decisions. about
Absolutely it does. If I personally decide to go and punch an old dude walking down the street, you should feel shame. You should be shamed by those around you for doing something horrible. Even if it was a personal decision or if it was done in private, it's still terrible.
sex. It's time to throw away the notion of losing your virginity. What if instead
No, it's not.
of losing something, we reframe it as gaining? Because the truth is, when we make our own decision to become
I guess because you have now gained that experience, but that doesn't change the fact that you have now lost your virginity.
sexually active, we aren't setting ourselves up to lose anything at all. We hope
If in the proper context, sure. If out of the proper context, well then, yeah, you're not losing anything. Except in normal life, except normal mental health, except the possibility of having a stable relationship with that person. But look at the bright side. You will gain STDs, feeling of worthlessness, all these great things.
we are gaining things like intimacy, self-insight, pleasure, and empowerment.
Self-insight? What are you talking about, self-insight? See, now they're trying to make it a selfish thing. No, it's supposed to be a perfect give and a perfect take. Between two people, that's what it is. Giving all of yourself while taking all of what the other person is giving you. And it's like a perpetual motion type thing. There's not supposed to be any selfishness in this.
All of these myths around sex and virginity can be so hurtful and overwhelming.
How is it a myth? You literally didn't even disprove the concept of virginity.
But here's the one truth you should remember.
So that was that. That was probably one of the dumbest videos I've ever had to sit through. that woman who made that and the person who allowed her to create that have below room temperature IQ. They need God, so definitely pray for them. The fact that it happened in like a little classroom setting setting was weird. All the like paraphernalia, I think is the word, that she had around the classroom was also really weird. Not based whatsoever. Once again, absolving people of the responsibility of understanding what they did. And also coming back to the mysticism and self-worship of it all. Mega, mega, mega cringed. Not based at all. So I guess that's going to wrap this up. Guys, think for yourself. Be smart. Don't listen to what these idiots are saying. So, yeah, I'm going to end off the video there. But first, bicep flex. Getting back in it. Into working out and stuff. Getting more consistent with my diet and everything. So I'll probably make a bulk update soon. But yeah, anyway, with that, be cringe. Or no, don't be cringe. Be based. Goodbye.